I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur, or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaders, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of black business in the history of the world.
Did Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you've come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professionals can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start boxing today.
Everything.
Are you aware that showing off your expertise can gain customers and position you as an expert in your industry? Consumers need confidence to purchase, so let us showcase your knowledge by interviewing you for a 3 to 5 minute video. We'll position you as an industry expert with a customized interview style video, and for a limited time, we'll cover all production costs. Click this ad or call now for all the information. You'll want to experience the same 5-star service our customers love. So take advantage of this one-time offer. Click this ad or contact us now.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11 I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this, because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
So what we have to do is when we get in a spot, we need to create some spots for us.
that's the main thing. We need to be able to be in a position where we're able to create those spots for us. For me, being an entrepreneur, I'm not just going to get a business and then leave you sitting high and dry. If you ask me some questions about entrepreneurship, I'm going to give you as much as I received. I've seen people who made it, and then when you ask them, it's like, okay, now you have to pay me for the information, the same information I got for free. We probably in totally different cities. There's no way that we're going to bump heads or anything. We're not competing. Bring me up with you. And so I just think that whatever education that I have, then I need to be able to give that to my own as well. So create the spots. You can create the spots when you get there.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, and there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Richey Coaching and Consulting LLC, along with the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. 15 minutes of success with Dr. Lotus Richey, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, our young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together.
Good afternoon, business owners and entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Angela Baptiste, and I am your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Our first speaker today is Sophia Evans. I'll tell you a little bit about Sophia. Sophia Evans, she is the owner and strategic leadership consultant at Applied Consulting with a remarkable career spanning various leadership positions, including Director of Human Resources and Operations. She has honed her skills to empower others to reach their full potential. As the Director of Administration at St. Stephen Baptist Church, Senior Human Resource Consultant in Insperity, and Senior Human Resource Advisor at Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship International, Sophia has leveraged her expertise to guide organizations towards excellence. She's a catalyst for change, revolutionizing. I'm sorry, I don't know why I wasn't getting that word. Revolutionizing businesses and lives alike. With her strategic insights and empowering training, she equips individuals with the tools and the mindset needed to overcome challenges and reach new heights of success. Today, we will be talking with Sophia Evans. I present to you Sophia Evans. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Angela. How are you doing?
Doing well. It's such a pleasure to see you again
Yes,
and have a conversation.
absolutely. Good to see you as well. And thank you for the opportunity.
Would you just say something about who you are and what you're doing?
Sure. Of course, I am Sophia A. Evans, and I reside in Maryland. I am the owner of Apply It Consulting LLC, where I help with helping individuals, organizations with strategic leadership consulting, workforce development, professional development, and whatever that is needed to help that business be successful from the top down and from the bottom to the top. So, whatever the needs are in terms of making sure that their human capital, to include leadership, is motivated, empowered, educated, and trained up to be successful in their role and in to help the organization be prosperous.
Wow, that's a mouthful. I can see that you stay pretty busy.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So, what are some of the secrets of your success, you would say? Or are there any secrets?
I don't know if it's secrets because I don't believe that when it comes to being a business owner and especially African American business owner, I believe in sharing. So there is no secrets to my success and even to helping people. So I will say one of the main things is listening. Listening, hearing the heart of what the individual or the business owner is saying, that what their needs are, and hearing their heart and being able to decipher what they are actually saying. Sometimes we will, because we don't want to feel like we're a failure, because we don't want to feel like we're not capable, of either running a business or managing and leading our employees, we can sometimes leave out some critical things. So it's about listening and then listening to become a problem solver. So with being a problem solver, number one, you have to do your research. You have to make sure that whatever the area that the individual or the organization needs, that you're not quick to speak, but slow to speak and quick to listen and actively listen, and then go and do some research, if you have to. And sometimes it's not even about the quick answer. It's about saying, let me ponder on this and get you the best information needed to help you in the situation. So really a lot of listening, doing your research, training yourself, learn, be open to new things. Take a class, step out of your comfort zone, meet and network with other organizations and other like-minded business people. Now, the business may not even be the same business that I do, but to be able to speak with someone else to see what are their challenges, what are their pitfalls, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and sharing, it's just, that's what some of the things that I have done.
Wow, that's very important, because when you're listening, you then offer the solution. But if you're just going in with a focused mind, then it's possible you'll be offering things that maybe they don't even. So I could how it is to actively listen to the needs of clients. Sure.
Yes.
So when did you start your business and why did you start?
So I actually did what's called a relaunch in 2019. I had a previous business before the economic major downturn in 2008. And so I knew that I did not want to leave it out there and just let it go, because it was an annoying thing to be able to, not about being the business owner, but being the problem solver to help other people. And it just so happened to come in the form of a business. And so in 2019, right before the pandemic, I was asked to take on some things in the realm of human resources consulting. And it was a very successful project and venture. And it really enlightened me, kind of ignited that fire to say, okay, let's do a relaunch. Renaming the business, starting back over, doing some more in-depth research, looking at what lessons did I learn, what were some of the pitfalls that I had then that I needed to correct, to move forward. What did my team look like, or could I go without having a team for a minute? But also, those hard truths. Do I have the capital? Do I have the equipment? Do I have the technology? Okay, you want to do this time, you got to learn from the last time. So it was really saying, okay, all right. And then when COVID hit, and I know that is, the pandemic was something that none of us expected, none of us wanted to go through. However, with things in life, when we got twists and turns, sometimes those things are a blessing. And they also turning points for us. And so it was a major turning point for me. It gave me the opportunity to look at some things and not without distraction. It also gave me the opportunity to hear how organizations were now faced with, how do I manage my employees that are working from home? What does this even look like? I ain't never had employees working from home. How are they supposed to work from home? And how will I know that they're getting their work done? And how can I even be effective in managing and leading them? What, you know? And so that was a great opportunity for me because organizations that I had worked with in the past, or even some of my colleagues or friends, they were like, don't you work from home on a regular basis? Like, yeah. They was like, would you be interested in doing some training for our staff and our leaders, you know, on both sides to let each know what that looks like? How do you do it? How do you maneuver? How can you still be successful? And so that really catapulted everything, you know, to be able to help those organizations, but also to kind of help with my relaunch and putting some things in place.
Wow. So what I heard you say, you know, that you took that pause and you used it to relaunch and be more sincere and what you were doing, and using that pause not only for reflection but to reset, and that's important. So tell me, you know, in your years as working in the business and in resources, are there any specific mentors you do you have mentors, or what do you do to get motivation? And you know, how does that work for you?
Okay. I don't have formalized mentors. Let me say that. I have what's called you catch it mentors. You know,
Explain that for us.
okay, what I mean by that is they are either managers, leaders, supervisors, my bishop, that I either work or serve with or glean from afar how they handle things. But particularly when you ask about the HR field, you know, I've been fortunate to be able to work for leaders that, number one, gave me opportunities to help me step out of a box or to venture into an area where it was an unknown, but it helped hone my skills and, you know, even create them. And so I also had the privilege of them watching how they handle things, listening and watching to their thought process. And when the opportunity arose, asking questions. Well, tell me how and why you made that decision. You know, what were some of the factors you thought about? And then, of course, education. I don't have a degree in human resources because I chose an MBA, which includes HR, but I want to be strategic. And so I have a strategic MBA. And so taking classes, going to conferences, taking an opportunity when asked by my manager to go and, you know, do some special projects somewhere. I got one coming up now in September where it's like, you don't mind doing that? You don't mind going? Not at all. Because again, it's something to maybe put in my toolbox. But it's also a new out of the box situation and everything we can learn, the good, the bad, or the ugly, we can learn something. So I think I've been fortunate to be able to catch those things from those leaders and catch by taking some of the projects and tasks that someone else might be afraid to take, or they feel like, I don't want to do that. But, you know, and then, you know, of course, when you go and you do it, they be like,
how did you do it?
Right. And I turned that down. I thought it was going to be such and such, you know. So again, yeah, stepping out of the box and in order for us to grow anyway, in whatever area of knowledge or our life, we can't keep doing the same thing, expecting the same result. We got to step out and take that challenge.
I totally agree, because when you're inside of your comfort zone, really, you know, that limits you. And who wants to settle for mediocrity. I know based on just having the conversation with you, that's definitely not you. And always learning and growing based on our conversation.
Yes.
So yeah, like that. So previously we talked about the pandemic and how that helped you to reset. But I'd love to know, how were you able to persevere and stay resilient, and come outside on the other side stronger?
Gotcha. And yeah, we've talked about this in the past as well. At first, to me, it was a blessing because I wasn't going, constantly going.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the point that not knowing how to calm down, so, you at home and I'm like, am I supposed to be going somewhere doing something? And it may not have been the physically wanting to go, but the mind was still going, because it had gotten in such of a routine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came in stages. Mine in this routine of going, so programmed to go. But then when it really started to realize, wait a minute, she can't go nowhere. So then it was the effects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Having to deal with the mind. Having anxiety attacks. Not knowing what the world that was. Going from anxiety attacks to depression. And then it started to manifest in ways in my health. And so, of course, calling and having virtual meetings and appointments with my doctor, realizing some things. Yeah, you're okay. You just need to look at your mental health, your physical health, and your overall environment. What is it that you need to change? What is the reality of where you are now versus where you were before? And what is the reality of where you're going? And being honest and open with yourself about it, and and not being in denial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are key. Yes, thanks for sharing and being vulnerable, sharing that, because a lot of people, even students today, in this system are still struggling. Have to go through, because no one made it. You never had to be home for that long period before. And I think the younger kids, I think they're the ones who suffer as a result. Great. As a female leader, what has been the most significant barrier in your business?
I think the most significant barrier has been tapping into a lot of the male-dominated areas. Meaning, I'm not talking human resources. I'm talking in terms of leadership, strategic planning, sitting at the table with the decision makers, hearing them, letting them hear you, being able to be invited to the table, being asked for input. That has been the biggest barrier. However, because I do not believe in not kicking down barriers, and I'm not talking forcefully, I'm talking about, again, listening, hearing, seeing, strategically being placed, and also being able to communicate effectively, and being able, as an African American female, to be able to know my worth, my value, and what I bring to the table has helped with breaking down those barriers. And so also being thankful that I've been fortunate to have male, those, remember I told you those mentors that I catch stuff from. They're not my formalized mentors where we meet and all of that on a regular basis, but being able to either be a support to them, to serve with them, to glean from them, that they know my integrity, they know my worth, they know what I bring to the table, and them being able to vouch and to speak for me. And not that I asked them to, but it's because they know. So that has probably been, and then the second thing as a part of that is, because of the pandemic and the uncertainty of our world, as a black, well, it's not even a black business owner, as a business owner, as a small business owner particularly, being able to convince organizations which may be small to mid-sized themselves that the budget is worth it to pour into yourself and your people. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that can be a challenge. They say, oh, well, we'd like to, but you came to me with the concern.
I know. Just make sure to say, this is going to add value. So, yes, thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So, what are some of the things that you want to achieve next?
Some of the things I want to achieve next is definitely being able to have a staff. I'm looking at how can I have different staff to not just support me, which I needed, but to be able to help them as well, to grow. I believe in that even in the workplace, as leaders, managers, supervisors, we should be looking at our employees, particularly those ones that are hungry and want to succeed. We should be looking at how can we support them in being successful. Not just successful in what they do, but in what is their progression for their careers. And so that's what I want to do. I want to build a team that will not only help me, but they know I have their best interests at heart to be able to help them become successful. So it ain't even so much as I grow, you go, and we do it together, but so much as to, okay, I know what I bring to the table for you, but you tell me what you need from me. Mm-hmm. How can I help you? Because I want to take some of those challenges I talked about, some of the things, the non-formalized things, and be able to formalize them with my staff, to where they know whatever it is, we can work through it. I can help you. Let's talk about it. Let's put a plan in place, and let's work through helping you make that plan.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you've accomplished a lot. It's still our discussion in your small business. But would you say, are there any mistakes that you've made along the way? And what are some of the things that you learned from it that you share with others so they can benefit from that? There's a saying, you learn also from other people's mistake or experience, really.
Right. Oh, yeah. A lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. From the beginning, not doing the research. You got to do your research. You got to do your homework. That's the first thing. Don't get discouraged. Don't walk away. Be intentional on being consistent, persistent, and standing. Because I used to be the type that's like, it ain't working out, deuces, let me go over here, I can do something different, I got several degrees, all that kind of stuff, right? But the problem with that is, it starts to reflect in your integrity, in your inconsistency, in your decision making, in your character, in your reputation. So I had to start being intentional, in being consistent, not quick to walk away, but to deal with whatever it is to make sure that, okay, there's a time when you do have to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
But not just walking away because at the first sense I ain't feeling it no more. Also, know who you have in your inner circle.
Wow, that's a big one.
Exactly. No, and that's probably to me even bigger than the research piece, because you can bring people into your circle, and they can sometimes mask their own agendas that are not good. They have underlying agendas. And because and that can even happen with you've known them for a long time and all these kind of things. So you really have to be careful with that, who you bring into your inner circle. There's nothing wrong with networking, having people that you associate with, but you really have to be very
selective, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is not a spiritual interview, but whomever your spiritual God is, you really have to seek spiritually who you should have in your inner circle, because it can make or break you on so many levels. So many levels. It really can.
It's so important. There's a saying that it tells who you are really by the at least 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with. And you're so right. It could make or break you. Because are they wanting you to thrive? Are they speaking and empowering you? Or they're dumbing you down, So yes, I can totally relate to that.
Right, but Angela, one other thing with that, where are they even going individually?
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because that, I think, has been one of the things that I've really had to look at. I'm moving forward. You're standing still, or you never moved. Yeah.
That's deep. Yeah. And do you really want to be around someone like that?
Right.
Because more often than not, they try to keep you where they are.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. So also, though, I'm going to ask you for some more advice. What advice would you give to the next generation of female leaders or business leaders?
Yes. Don't be afraid. Step out on faith. If you have that idea, do your research. Don't get discouraged. Get away from the naysayers. If you fail a little bit the first time, get back up, try again. Just tweak it along the way, learn along the way. As you learn mistakes, don't make that mistake again. Be intentional with that. Also, journal your process. Take notes, write things down. Utilize the tools and the equipment that you have. Be it your calendar, your electronic calendar. Be careful on social media. Until you have your solid footing, don't put too much on social media. Be mindful of that. Utilize social media for good. Good to display who you honestly are. Good to display with helping you when your business is launched. Good with helping you say those things you need to say to help somebody else in your business. Also, just do it. Do it. More than one stream of income is profitable and worth it. So don't get trapped when someone says you only need to go to school, get a degree, and get a job. Don't get me wrong. I got degrees, got jobs. It's all good. However, as young people of color, don't be limited by only having that one job, by only doing that one thing. take that skill set and think, how can you use that to work for yourself?
Wow.
Yep.
Powerful advice, Sophia. Thanks for sharing that. I know you have a busy life. How do you take care of yourself and maintain, the positive energy, good mental health, and be a good spiritual place? What are some of the things that you're doing to do that?
I am intentional in my self-care. Taking my time off, spending time with my son and my grandson. Intentional. Intentional. If it's between FaceTime and my grandson, which I love, Warden probably, he probably come first over streaming my movies.
You better.
I know, right? And having to be intentional, taking the time away and just relaxing. And sometimes it's just sitting still, not thinking about anything, nothing. And when something tries to come up, I block it out. Turning unplug, just unplug. No TV, no phone, no iPad, no computer, just unplug. And yes, if there is something mentally or physically I have going on, I deal with it. Yeah. And I don't try to put my health second. I don't put my mental health second. I do not put me second. I put me first. Because if I can't take care of me and be the best me, I'm no good for anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So, how have your priorities changed from when you started to current?
They've changed because now I have to, because of number one, being busy, which is a good thing. Being able to make sure that I maintaining my calendar to where it's not overwhelming. I don't accept everything. I know how to say no.
Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Because you say yes to the things that serve you, right?
Yes. Yes. And my most recent one is I don't chase money. Money chases me.
Explain that.
What I mean by that is I recently, someone had asked me about, taking on a contract for them. Verbal ask. I haven't heard anything. And so my son and I was talking, and I was telling him about that. I said, I got this new thing that's been setting with me now. If you come to me and you're asking me for my service, I don't feel like I have to chase you down. Mm-hmm. When I serve in the church, I have about 10 to 15 volunteers. And my motto with my volunteers is, a volunteer is someone who wants to do. Mm-hmm. If I have to ask you to volunteer, that's not a volunteer.
You're being voluntold.
Right, exactly. And so it just started to come and equate with when people come to me for business, for contract, for advice. I'm not going to chase you down if you come to me. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by that. That's my thing. I'm not chasing you because then sometimes, when it comes to us chasing it, they can also minimize some things with us.
Your value.
Yeah, my value. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but no, I don't chase it anymore. The beginning I may have because I felt like, okay, I need to get this to get established and but I've learned some things. Some of that chasing, the value was minimized. It wasn't all, I did all that chasing and then they find out it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be.
Awesome. Well, it's been such a pleasure. I can stay talking to you forever. But I just wanted to find out what specific advice you would give to someone who's trying to become an entrepreneur.
If you are trying to become an entrepreneur, do your research, join the Small Business Administration, and get a mentor that way first. Also, join your local Chamber of Commerce, which is so beneficial because they also provide a lot of resources for you, which are free. Also, they give you great access to your community of other leaders, other businesses. It's a great collaboration. Also, again, don't be afraid, but do your research to find out the type of business you're getting into, what it is that is required, your demographics, all of that. But just don't give up. Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Awesome. We are so appreciative of you coming and spending time with us, telling us about what you do and what you offer the community. Before you go, I'd like for you to tell us what's so unique about your business and how we can contact someone who reach out to you.
Okay. What's unique about my business is the fact that I listen. I do listen. I listen, I care. We have very strategic but direct conversations that will help you consider and think of those things which you may not have thought of that was needed to not only make your employees successful, but to make you successful as a leader and your business. If you are willing to if you would like to reach out to me, you can reach me several ways. You can reach me online through my website at applyitconsulting.com, applyitconsulting.com. You can give me a call at 301-885-8942, or you can email me at sophia.evans@applyitconsulting.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Sophia, it's been such a wonderful pleasure
Same here.
talking with you again. You have a wonderful, blessed day, and see you soon.
You too. Thank you so much.
You know, this is common. So, see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to the blackbusinessexpousa.com website to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App that's on the screen below, and that is the $ BBX USA. Our goal is to achieve and to give laptops and up to $500 to 10 students. Students can register online also at the blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for July 23. North Carolina 100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genesis Common, Earth Essentials, Mullane Shawnee Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and the Black Business Expo USA. Genesis Common and I'll see you on the other side.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
I'm Kennedy Harris. My genius is being an entrepreneur. I'm the CEO of K-Lock, a company where I develop my very own line of kids supplements. I currently market my multivitamin for kids to help combat weak immunity. During the pandemic, research has shown that having a strong immune system is key to fighting off disease. My vitamins are for kids, but adults can benefit from them as well. I'm adding a proprietary blend to my supplement line. I want to create my own blend so that I have a competitive edge in the marketplace. Staying healthy is important to me so that we live longer and have healthier lives. My website is klockproducts.com. That is K-L-O-C-K. Genius is common.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, frog, fish,
Goldie,
dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies everywhere. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms. The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, and with spending power built for business purchases, he used his card to furnish a new exam room. Together, Dr. Petsworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Hopton got the love and care they deserve. And everyone was happy. Get the card built for business by American Express.
I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and go and you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through. I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kingston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life, and now she is a testimony.
If I can help you elevate yourself, then I feel like I'm elevating my own self as well. What you know and I know together can change the world.
Hello, this is Israel, and I am CEO of Daydreams Interactive and author of Princess Planet. So, genius is common, and
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know? A student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turn to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sidelines and watch our students in high school be leaders, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso, a new concept in social media. Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights.
I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Magazine and smallbiztechnology.com.
You're here today to celebrate small business success. Stand up on your feet. You rocked the house. It was amazing. Didn't we learn? For me, success comes from failure. One thing not to do is shake somebody's hand like this.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Angela Baptiste. I am your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Today we have our keynote speaker, Dr. James Davis, and he'll be talking about what is entrepreneurship. James Davis, an entrepreneur, and he defines entrepreneurship as the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risk in the hope of profit, the risk and rewards of owning your own business, and the mindset to succeed. I present to you Dr. James Davis.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Dr. Davis. How are you?
I am doing well. How about you?
I am doing great. It's such a pleasure to have you today to share some powerful information with our leaders and entrepreneurs across the world.
Thank you.
So go ahead and have a good delivery, and I'll see you. Remember, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. I am so glad for this invitation, and I certainly want to thank the Black Business Network for this opportunity to share information, wisdom, and knowledge. And of course, I got a chance to sit in on one of the other speakers and just profound wisdom. And I appreciate that. One of the things I've learned that you can never stop learning. And so, but my name is James Davis, and I'm here in Virginia, what we consider the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. I'm married to my wonderful wife, Hythaline Davis, 3 kids, 1 grandchild. And I am just grateful for this opportunity. For full disclosure, I'm also a pastor as well. And so I get a chance to really not only just inspire people and encourage people on Sundays, but to also live this out during the course of the week. My wife and I, we own a company called Paragon Real Estate Group. I myself have been in real estate for almost 20 years now. Kind of started out as an agent, worked up through the ranks, and now we We own a company, and so and of course we are in different regions of our state, and we're just grateful for the opportunity to share. And so, for me, when we talk about ownership, it's a journey that I just didn't read about or stumble upon and Google it. I've actually had to live it. I've lived the highs and lived the lows, and so and so I am grateful for this opportunity to share and to pour back into those that are listening, and maybe you'll share this with someone. But when we talk about entrepreneurship, and as Miss Angela has just read, I look at it as the activity of setting up a business or businesses taking on the financial risk in the hope of profit. Now, let me say that, in the hope of profit. There is nothing wrong with profit because while people say, well, I just want to help people. And sometimes that is the what I call the response when I say, well, why are you in this business? Well, I just wanted to help people. And that's great and that's fine, but you still have a life to live. And so any business out here that is worth their grain of salt, while they may be helping business, they need to do it. They need to make a profit so that they can stay afloat. They can pay employees and scale the business and buy equipment and what have you. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, it happens in something that we call the marketplace. The marketplace. Now, let me give you a definition. I'll give you my definition of the marketplace. And this is something I do on Wednesdays. I do a teaching called Marketplace Faith every Wednesday on my personal Facebook page. But when we talk about the marketplace is the exchange of goods and services in conjunction with the law of supply and demand. Let me say that again. The marketplace is a system where there is an exchange of goods and services in conjunction with the law of supply and demand. So one of the things I had an opportunity to do when I was in school, my minor was economics. So economics has always fascinated me. I had no idea that it may be something that I would end up using in my life to grow a business and what have you. And so also, I definitely want to say some of the things I'm going to be sharing today. I wrote a book entitled Futuring. You can find this on Amazon. And that's a book that I use this to kind of give out to budding entrepreneurs, people kind of starting out, to kind of give them a blueprint as to where to get going and where to get started. And so I'll give you some information to reach me at the end of sharing this if you'd like to get a copy of my book, Futuring. So this book, Futuring, was written simply as a result of a part of my own journey into entrepreneurship, because I grew up in a family. Everybody kind of, we were always told, go to college so you can get a good job. And most of us know now, just going to college and graduating from college does not guarantee a good job. And so what ended up happening was I did do that route. And in the process of doing that route, I faced in the corporate world a few layoffs, and layoffs not of my own, company downsizing, company changing. And I remember distinctly the last time I was working for an employer, and, just totally, we thought the company was doing fine. So just kind of give you a little bit of my story. So, was told the company was down, was just going out of business. And that was like my second or third layoff. And so I said to myself, I needed to reposition myself in such a way to whereas I would decide what my future would look like. And I've always had an idea to jump out and to do something and maybe involve in real estate, but just didn't have the time. And so when I wrote this book, it kind of, it was a part of my journey, discovering who I was as an entrepreneur and begin to question certain things that I did or that I would engage in. And I use those same things to challenge other people that are considering an entrepreneurial pursuit. So when we talk about being an entrepreneur, there's some things we need to identify. We need to identify because here's one thing I've noticed. There are a lot of people that like the idea of being an entrepreneur, but have no idea, but have no understanding of the sacrifice and the cost associated with it. They love the idea, however, not fully understanding that there is more to it than just saying, well, I own my own business or I'm an entrepreneur. There's more to it. And so some of the questions I begin to challenge people, and as I'm talking, some of these same questions, you may challenge yourself, because I challenge myself. Some of the questions I begin to ask was what and why? What and why? And when I started thinking about being an entrepreneur, I started thinking about what I wanted to do. What is it I wanted to do? Okay, I want to own my own business, but what does that look like? What kind of a business? And so one of the things that I discovered, and if you're like me, oftentimes I would have people say, hey, come to a meeting or come to this or come to this group and listen to this presentation, listen to that presentation. And I would listen to it, because I'm trying to discover me. I'm trying to discover what do I do. And I soon discovered that a lot of the things that people were trying to drag me to, meetings and sessions and conclaves and what have you, that a lot of those things were great things for them, but they were not great things for me. And so one of the things that I soon discovered when we talk about being an entrepreneur is that you being an entrepreneur, it's not just the label itself, but there's an identity attached to that. In other words, here's one of the things that I discovered. Whatever entrepreneurial pursuit that I was going to be in, or you would consider being in, it has got to be something that represents you, something you have a passion for, something that you would use yourself. In other words, it's hard to sell a product or promote a product that you don't even use yourself. And so oftentimes many of us, including myself, we can get caught up in an entrepreneurial idea. And all we see is the money side. Somebody show us a couple checks and say, hey, here's a couple checks and da. And we see the checks, but we soon quickly discover that the checks are not enough. In other words, this is something that I've got to have a heart for. And so that's one of the things that I usually challenge when we talk about being an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship is that, number one, you have to have a heart for what you do. And the reason why you have to have a heart for what you do is because there may be some days where you have a surplus of money coming in, and there may be some days when you almost hit a dry season. But because your heart is in it, you stick with it until that dry season becomes a surplus season. Hopefully you're getting what I'm saying. See, when your heart is in it, then you learn to weather the highs and the lows of the situation. But if you're doing it simply for money, you won't do it. You won't do it long. And that's one of the things I usually challenge people that are coming into some type of entrepreneurial pursuit, that if you're only doing it for money, you will not do it long. Why? Because that will fade. That will fade. And when the money is not coming in, then what? So one of the first things you have to ask is what is it? What is it I'm good at? What is it I'm passionate at? What is it that I can do that almost in a sense requires the least amount of effort because I'm just gifted in that area? And that's so important that a lot of times I may ask an entrepreneur or they're asking me questions and I might say, well, what are you gifted at? Because what you're gifted at doing, you'll find out oftentimes that it is one of the easiest things to do because you just are gifted in that area. And so that a lot of times that begins to address the what situation. The other part of that is why. Why? Okay, once we discover your what, but now why you and why that particular entrepreneurial pursuit? In other words, here's a question: is there a need for? Now you may discover the what part, but why? Why is there a vacuum of that good and services in an area? Why that particular product? Why that particular service that you're offering? Is there a need for it? And that's very important. Is there a need for what you do? Nothing could be more frustrating than call yourself being an entrepreneur, but you don't have nothing to sell and there's no demand for it. Remember, I said the marketplace is a system where there is an exchange of goods and services in conjunction with the law of supply and demand. So if you have a supply, but you don't have a demand, guess what? You're not going to make any money. You're not going to make a profit. So the question now, after you answer the what, why? Why this particular product? And it could be because here again, you've got something you're passionate about, something that you've noticed there isn't a market for. Why? I'll give you a quick example. Can you imagine someone saying, well, I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to have a store or a booth or boutique, and we sell winter coats in Miami, Florida. Now, that in of itself, you may find yourself not being in business long, because if you're like me and you've been to Miami, Florida, it can get rather hot, even during the wintertime. I'm here in Virginia, and when it's, pretty 30s or 20s here, I look at the forecast and they're in the 70s and 80s in Miami, Florida. So the question becomes why that? Now you might enjoy selling coats, but maybe not in Miami, Florida. You see what I'm saying? So after you ask the what, the question is why. Now you may enjoy that, but here again, is there a market for that? Is there a need for that in that area? Here's the next question, or here's the tag along with that. Who is your competition? Who is your competition? In other words, great idea, great entrepreneurial pursuit, but who else is doing it beside you? Who else is doing it? What other success? And so this is important. I heard one of the last speakers share this, and I thought it was so important. And I had it certainly here in my notes, is what kind of research have you done? What kind of research? What is the market like? What is the need like in your area? Who else do you know is doing it? And how have you observed them being successful at it? See, here's the thing I've learned, that people, growing up, people would say experience is the best teacher. I beg to differ. Experience is not the best teacher. One of the best teachers is what I call observation. Get that? Not necessarily. In other words, if I observe you long enough in what you're doing, and I can learn from your mistakes, guess what? I may not have to go through what you went through. Why? Because I paid attention. And so observation is a great characteristic, especially for research purposes. In other words, what have you seen? What research, what statistics were you able to pull up and document and interpret and what have you? Because here again, it may be a great idea. It may be doing well for someone else, or may seem to be doing well. But here again, what does the research say? Some things, you've got to know when some things are just trendy. And when I say trendy, many of y'all may know, when I was kind of growing up, and I won't even date myself by sharing my age, but many times, bell-bottom pants. People wore bell-bottom pants, and then bell-bottoms went out. Next thing you know, bell-bottom pants come back in. See, some things are just trendy, and you've got to know as an entrepreneur. And again, doesn't mean you can't engage in that goods or services, but to be able to identify when something is trendy and know how to make the adjustment in your entrepreneur pursuit. Because while that may be a need or a demand today, doesn't mean it's going to be a demand for tomorrow. So it's important to understand, the what, the why, and who your competition is. Okay. All right. It's important to understand that. Who's your competition? Here's a question. And if someone is already offering what you have in mind, maybe consider offering something different or better. If somebody, in other words, if there's an entrepreneur, if there's some goods or services already being sold in the area of what you're doing, maybe consider offering something that people cannot find, or is a hard to come across item, or what have you, or just a goods or service. I give you a quick example, and I'm certainly not endorsing them, but there's a certain restaurant that most of us have eaten at, and we call it Chick-fil-A, and I noticed that sometimes you can go through the line, and the line seems like it can be wrapped, I'm just using my imagination, 3-4 times around the restaurant, if you're line. But guess what? You're not in that line long, because they've developed a process. Now, keep in mind, they're not the only people in town selling chicken sandwiches, but they've developed a process for not only providing a product that everybody else provides, but they provide it in a way towards the experience to get your food is almost second to none, in a sense, when it comes to fast food. And I'm not the only one that has observed this. I mean, other industry leaders have observed it. And then you go to another restaurant, and again, I won't name names. You go to another restaurant, and they're selling chicken sandwiches, and you can be in a line for almost 45 minutes. 45 minutes compared to the previous company I just mentioned, where you can be in a long line, but the line is moving, And so what they have done is, and when I just mentioned Chick-fil-A, what they have done is developed a process that you don't see everywhere. And then all of a sudden now, the My Pleasure has taken off, and I'm noticing other fast food and other people that have picked up on My Pleasure. You just didn't hear it everywhere. It's almost like it made you feel like, hey man, they were glad for me to come here. I think I'll come back. And so what they discovered was, while we're not the only game in town offering chicken sandwiches, we're just going to create a process that people can get to it sooner. And that's what I always will say to an entrepreneur. Okay, if there's several businesses or entrepreneurs and business owners in town that are offering what you want to offer, study what they don't provide, and then fill that vacuum. You'll create your own niche and create your own client base, simply because you're offering something that people can't find everywhere else. And here's the thing about it. People will pay more for good quality service. I say this all the time to entrepreneurs. I say this all the time to our agents that we manage, that people will pay good quality service, even if you're $5 or $10 more, but they will pay for good quality service and being treated well. They will just simply do it. And so you find what others are not doing, and then here you do. You tap into that vacuum. So I certainly hope this is helping you. Another point I want to talk about is location. Now, I told you when I first got on here, we own a real estate company. That's one of the things we preach all the time, when it comes to real estate: location, location, location. Do you not know you can just be on a side of town that just does not feed your business. It just doesn't do it. And so I always will say all the time, geography matters. Geography matters. You can be in a part of the country. Again, like I said, going back to using the example of the winter coats. Now, trying to sell winter coats in Miami, Florida, there's a high probability that you're going to go under. But now you take that same business and you go to Ohio, you go to New York, you go to Vermont, you go to New Hampshire, you go to, West Virginia, you go to cities that experience Chicago or different cities that experience mild or very cold winters. All of a sudden your business thrives. I mean, you're not only just opening up one store, but you're going to 2 and 3 different stores. Why? Same product, just different location. And so location matters. See, that idea, if we build it, they'll come. That doesn't really work in business. Don't ever let anybody fool you and tell you that just because you set up a shop that all of a sudden people are coming out of the woodwork. It just doesn't happen. There are certain products, there are certain goods and services that are conducive for a particular side of town, particular side of the state, area of the state you may live in, or the country you may live in. Nothing was wrong with the product. It's just you're in the wrong place. And so for entrepreneurs, a lot of times I'll say for the goods and services and the products you want to offer, does that fit where you currently are? Does that fit where you currently, does that match the geography of where you currently are? So for example, if you want to, here's another example. Let's just say you love cowboy boots. Now, originally I'm from Oklahoma. And so for out west, Texas, Oklahoma, Nevada, Montana, a lot of those places, to come across cowboy boots and your ostrich skin, alligator skin, whatever skin you want, it's common. People see it all the time. But now you take those same boots and say, you know what, I'm going to open up a cowboy boots and sell Oscar or, ostrich or alligator boots. And I will use Miami, Florida again. I'm going to go down to Miami, Florida and sell those. Well, here again, your business may go bust because, again, Miami, Florida, they're wearing flip-flops, sandals. It's hot all the time. People don't want a lot of clothes on, not to mention hot boots. So again, geography matters. And so it's important for you to do your research and understand where you are and how much of that matters. So I certainly hope this is giving you some insight and helping you to understand. Again, we talked about the what, the why, and just got through talking about the where. Now, as we keep going on, it's important to understand language. Every industry and organization has their set of lingo and acronyms. And oftentimes I'll say to entrepreneurs is that you've got to learn the language of your industry. You got to learn it. You got to learn the language of, if you want to be taken serious, you got to learn the language, because sometimes people know whether you're serious or may decide to do business or not do business with you because just certain terms you just don't know, acronyms you don't know. And a lot of times when you don't know it, you really kind of tell people how fully engaged you are in the business. Because sometimes, depending on what the goods and services are, people they may not want to deal with someone who just does it every now and then or part-time. And so you got to learn the language. And here's the thing, when you learn the language of the industry, you also learn the culture. When you learn the language, you learn the culture. For example, I remember in high school, I took French and Spanish. Okay. Before taking those classes, I I couldn't, the only Spanish words I used would or could identify with were either used by other students who were of Spanish descent that maybe been in my class, but I had no idea of that. Even same thing with French. Now, keep in mind, I've been to France when I was much younger, but a lot of that had gotten away from me. So I didn't understand it. But all of a sudden now I'm taking a Spanish class. And as I'm learning Spanish, I'm learning culture. In other words, what I could identify with easily in English didn't quite mean the same thing in Spanish, or maybe how it's pronounced in Spanish as it relates to English or relates to French. So my point is this, that as an entrepreneur, it's important for you to learn the lingo and learn the acronym, learn the language of what you're trying to do. Learn the language. And so sometimes that may mean to really dive in and learn the language, learn the culture, learn the processes. Sometimes it may take us into what another thing that I would say, it might mean you having to be a part of or to be a part of an internship. Now, oftentimes when we think of an internship, we oftentimes think of maybe a high school student or a college student. But an internship is really great, especially when you're looking to dive into an entrepreneur pursuit. You want to learn the language. And the beauty, catch hold of this. The beauty of an internship is that it allows you to learn the business without being responsible for the risk. Let me say that again. In other words, it allows you to learn the culture, but you're not responsible because you don't have to take all the risk. The risk is on the person that's teaching you. But for you, it is a real world classroom. So it might mean that before you dive into some type of entrepreneurship, that you ask someone to say, hey, can I shadow you? Can I spend some time with you a couple of times during the week? And sometimes it may cost, sometimes they may charge you to shadow them, but you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. See, one of the things I found that a lot of times people want to be an entrepreneur, but they're trying to get into it free. There are some things that will cost you so you can be on the scene when a certain thing or certain transaction is happening. You need to be on the scene. You need to see it firsthand. Some things you can read about, some things you can get told about, but there's some things you have to be present. In other words, I use this statement all the time, and you might have heard it before through others. There are some things that are taught, and there are some things that are caught. In other words, there's some things I can show you, I can tell you about, but there are some things that you got to be on the scene when the transaction took place. When so for example, some of our 8 brand new real estate agents, realtors, we have a program within our company that's a mentoring program, and it allows brand new realtors to be partner up with seasoned realtors. And so when the seasoned realtors go out and meet a client, well, you as the mentee who's with your mentor, as a mentee, there's nothing for you to say. You're there to learn. You're there to be a sponge and soak in all the information, because your day is going to come where you're going to be servicing a client. But until that time, this is like your internship. And so you're learning. You're learning the lingo, you're learning the language, you're learning the culture, you're learning the when, the what, the how, you're learning the nuts and bolts of what you're trying to do. And so this entrepreneurship cannot be taken lightly. There are things behind the scene that you must acclimate yourself and be prepared for if you're going to be successful at it. Because at the end of the day, remember what I said, that when we talk about being an entrepreneur, entrepreneur, the end goal is that you want to make a profit. Nobody becomes an entrepreneur just to break even. Let me say that again. Nobody intentionally, maybe I should throw that in there. Nobody intentionally becomes an entrepreneur to break even. We all do what we do to make a profit. Yes, we want to be a blessing to our family. Yes, we want to take care of our families and those that may need help and scholarships and all that good stuff. But guess what? We can't do any of that if we're not making a profit. If all we're doing is just breaking even, guess what? We won't be doing what we're doing long because there's not enough left over to do anything else. So as an intern, and sometimes you have, and I say this too, especially to adults, when I say to them, listen, won't you intern with somebody? And sometimes I can see it. There's a little pride there because, when you're high school, college, and someone tells you about an internship, you're kind of excited about it. But what I found sometimes with adults, and I've done adult learning in various phases of my career, to whereas sometimes there's a pride thing because we don't want anybody to tell us what to do, or we don't want people to assume we don't know what we're doing. Hey, an internship helps you position yourself so that you're not dealing with a future disaster. Most of the time, what happens with people who avoid opportunities to be mentored or an internship, they are on their way as an accident getting ready to happen because they have not learned the pitfalls. And so, as I said earlier, there are some experiences that you don't have to have if you would just observe. Okay, if you would just observe. And so some things are taught, some things are caught. And so I say to you, that we take the time for our internship. And so anyway, I'm almost closing with this, but I certainly hope this has certainly helped you to be a great entrepreneur, to consider what you're doing, ask questions, maybe consider an internship, ask the what, the why, and the how, and certainly hope this encourages you in your pursuit. And again, my name is James Davis. I am so glad that you tuned in today. I'm in the Virginia area, Paragon Real Estate Group. Our number is 877-320-5921. My email is jdavis@ParagonRealEstateGRP.org. So I'm so glad and elated you joined us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. It's been such a pleasure listening to you talking about what it really means about being an entrepreneur, and what it means, and asking the what, the why, and the when, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So asking those powerful questions. And I heard you talk about location.
Yes,
we have to know about geography, how it plays into what we're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is indeed a pleasure. Thank you for sharing all that wealth of knowledge with us about entrepreneurship. And any final comments, or you're giving your digits, your contact information, go ahead and share them again. And
okay. Our company is called Paragon Real Estate Group. We have several offices. Our number is 877-320-5021. And so you're able to, and then my email is jdavis@ParagonGRP.org. Company website is ParagonRealEstateGRP.org.
Again, thank you.
You're welcome.
Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I would like to promote the scholarship for the Black Business Expo. The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college for K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. You may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or use the Cash App that's on the screen below and say the $ BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Remember, every dollar counts, so we want to remind each and every one to donate to the scholarship fund. We'd like to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for this month, July 2023. The NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Mullane Shawnee Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative 4 Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and the Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
Producers, directors, I met designers, and then everybody says, oh, this is my 6th year, and oh, this is my 4th year.
Shout out to New York. We're in New York in like 7 hours.
Oh my gosh, yes, we have a 6:58 flight, so.
We gotta go home. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, every single person that's come through the store has spoke so highly of you, and what a great event this is, yes.
I'm representing DJ Darryl, who is a platinum producer. He did the hit track for Tupac Shakur, Keep Your Head Up, Snoop Dogg, Keisha Cole.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is TrueSo, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of TrueSo. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
Phenomenal Tanya T. Wise, who is here from the great state of Maryland. Tanya, welcome and thank you for being with us today. Can you indulge our audience a little bit and tell them just a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you do?
Well, I love being able to talk to people and have a magnetic attitude, being able to just show them. So I always like to say, level up is Coach at Tanya T. Wise here.
So can you tell our audience, just give them a teaser about what your presentation will be about?
So my philosophy is that we should all be living our dream life. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about how you start living your dream life. What are some of the things that you thought about in your childhood that you just kind of let go and dormant?
Wow.
And I want to reignite that and just give you some pointers and some tips, some tools, some strategies to be able to start living your best life now. And guess what, Rhonda? And leave an inheritance for your legacy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I know that's resonating with a lot of people. I've heard that you have a dynamic coaching program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools, we help them implement strategies, as well as give them resources so that they can live their best life now and leave that inheritance.
Wow. Oh, I love that. I love the leave the inheritance part. Listen, you are dropping some major nuggets, and I know a lot of what you're saying is resonating with a lot of people, but I think we're all curious. How did you even make this transition into the speaking and coaching arena? What's the story behind this?
So I started out in finance, and I realized that a lot of people don't necessarily go after their dream life because of the lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it.
If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that?
Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Wise.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am black business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am black business.
Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Angela Baptiste. I'm your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. Today, we have our guest Dr. Rhonda Wood. She's with RMW Global Enterprise, and we'll be talking to her today about what she offers. So welcome, Dr. Rhonda Wood. Hi, Dr. Rhonda. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, awesome. It's good to know that genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes. Well,
so if it's okay, I'd like to just talk a little bit about RMW Enterprises, and then we can go into the Q&A. So RMW Global Enterprises, it's a global movement. We're an organization, and our primary mission is to help individuals and organizations prioritize mental health and wellness in businesses, for business owners, for entrepreneurs, for corporations and other types of organizations. So we're really passionate about helping individuals and organizations around the world create these open, inclusive, supportive cultures around mental health so that we can continue in our mission, our forward mission to shatter mental health stigmas and to be able to embrace, and I do mean embrace compassion, awareness, knowledge, education, acceptance surrounding mental health. And so we do that through training, through speaking, public speaking, through consulting, and also through writing, helping organizations and corporations actually write out and providing write out their plans to create these inclusive awareness type of procedures, and then also to be able to provide resources, mental health resources. Mental health has been at the sort of top of our conversations, I would say, since the pandemic started. It's raised a lot of awareness. I think a lot of people's symptoms and thoughts about mental health has come to the forefront. Some symptoms have come to the surface for some people, whether it's different types of anxiety or depression or PTSD. And let me just say, these are symptoms that are common even among high achievers, even among business owners and entrepreneurs. And so I think it's important for us to have these conversations. I think there are conversations that are happening, and what we need to do is just turn up the volume on those conversations and to normalize those conversations so that we don't feel like we have to continue to suffer in silence and solitude, to have them, behind in the corners or behind closed doors. I think the more that we're open about mental health awareness, about prioritizing it, making it a priority, I think more and more people will be able to embrace self-care and taking care of themselves and making sure they are okay mentally and emotionally. So that's a little bit about the company. And Dr. Angela, I wasn't sure if you wanted to come back on and we can engage in some dialogue about my favorite all around topic of mental health.
Thank you. Yes, that was a lot of information you shared. And I know a lot of people are suffering in silence. And so that's where you come in. So tell us about how you got into doing this mental awareness and why you chose this line of work.
Sure, absolutely. That's an incredible question. Thank you so much. So I got into this work. So I was working, actually, I had spent about 25 years in corporate America, working as a marketing and PR professional. And I did it for a downtown Washington, D.C. law firm. In my career, I've worked for 3 different law firms in Washington, D.C. My third law firm was actually headquartered in New York. And so it had a little bit of a different vibe. And if you can imagine, there are some types of workplaces where it can be a little bit high stress, a little dysfunctional. It can be a little bit, be overwhelming. And so, a lot of times we're in environments and we're trying to juggle our personal and professional lives. And so let me say this, Dr. Angela, it's never a sign of weakness or, anything negative when a person has to step forward and say, whoa, I need to take some time away. So I was in an environment that I felt like wasn't well for my mental well-being at the moment. And so I actually made what I thought was a really challenging decision to step forward and say, I think I need to take some time so that I can, get refocused, so that I felt like I needed to recalibrate my brain a little bit. And the reason it was a challenging decision is because I remember when I was hired, it was the job that I had prayed for, that I really, really wanted. It had the amount of responsibility that I wanted. It had the growth potential that I wanted. And of course, it had the pay that I wanted. However, none of those things should ever be more important than our mental well-being. So of course, with more responsibility comes, some challenges. And so what I realized is I was in an environment where I felt like I really wanted to prove myself. There were many times when I was the only person of color in the room. I was the only Black, not only the only Black person, but sometimes the only Black woman or the only woman in the room. And so I didn't want to, I was like, man, sometimes these meetings can be overwhelming. They can be stressful. You're getting this boatload of responsibility. And it wasn't that I couldn't handle it. It was just that it was too much.
Overwhelming.
It was overwhelming. And so I made what I was doing is I was trying to balance that with raising a teenage daughter, with trying to balance my home life. And so I'm at work and I have I was going in early, working through lunch, staying late, and trying to do this. Plus, working my business on the side as well. So as a business
I
owner,
stress.
Yeah. So just, juggling a lot. And of course, we love to wear that badge of, oh, I'm a multitasker. I can juggle multiple priorities. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it isn't jeopardizing your mental well-being or mental health. Nothing wrong with working even in high stress environments, but when it's high stress 90% of the time, that begins to become a problem.
But it's interesting that you brought up multitasking, because I worked in corporate America and I thought that it was the thing, right, for us to be doing 2, 3, 4 things at the same time. And so I, like you, was that I stress person, and I thought that was normal, but come to realize that our brains are not made to multitask. So I found that interesting that you brought that up. We should be more intent, and the studies also have shown that you really are not doing it's not doing qualitative work to be multitasking. So interesting.
It's almost as if you are juggling. If you imagine a juggler, right? If I have 3 balls and I'm juggling 3 balls, 2 or 3 balls, I can probably maintain that without a problem. Nothing will fall. It'll probably be nice and organized and a nice rhythm. But you know what, Dr. Angela, as I add more balls, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for me to manage. And it's the same thing when we're trying to multitask. I can probably handle 2 or 3, no problem. As you start adding more and more tasks to juggle at the same time, it's going to become more and more challenging. It can probably be done. Like I can probably juggle. It's probably going to look like a little bit of a hot mess.
Right. I totally can relate to that. Yes, for sure. Something's going to get dropped. And hopefully it's definitely not your well-being and your mental health. It's so important for us to always remember that we're the number one. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, how could we really take care of someone else?
Right.
So I'm glad you talked about that. So who are some of the people that you work with?
Right. So when I was in the corporate environment, I worked with, lawyers, attorneys around the world. We had offices in other countries as well. So London and Japan. However, right now as an entrepreneur, and I make sure that I maintain my mental wellness. I partner with other CEOs. So of course, when you work in this space, when you're teaching other people and training other people on how to prioritize their mental health and well-being, how to keep it at the forefront, how not to jeopardize it, not to sacrifice on it, not to diminish it or dismiss it. When you do that, you're partnering a lot with individuals, organizations, other entrepreneurs, other business owners, making sure that they're creating these mentally healthy, workplaces and environments for their staff and their employees. And, another important sort of group are in the schools as well. Can we just talk about our students, because they're high achievers? They obviously are going to school to get a great education. That environment can sometimes be a little bit hectic.
Right.
When you're taking multiple classes, when you have competing deadlines, when you're trying to make sure you pass, you don't want to have to repeat a class. You want to make your parents happy who are paying for your classes, or whatever have you, and what the reward is from that. Hey, I'll get a good education, I'll get a good job, I'll make good money, and I can finally get some of the things that I fulfill some of my dreams. But again, And there's
It's
nothing wrong
interesting
with
that
that.
you brought the kids up because they really are struggling with not only focusing on their education, but also, all the other things that they're dealing with as well.
Right, as well. And it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, the kids today don't have the childhood that we had when we were younger. I was like, man, the things that they are stressing about, on the internet and social media and the peer pressure and the, high achievement, and all of those things are fine. But when we were young, I just remember bicycles, roller skates, hopscotch, double dutch. It just seemed like a different type of lifestyle. We were outside till the street lights came on, and a lot of things that they are, they're trying to figure out, they're battling their identity a little bit. Just so many different things going on, not just here in the United States, but around the world as well. Because I'll tell you, last year I traveled to England 3 times. I also went to France 3 times, and I went to Belgium. So you know what I realized? Mental health isn't just a local issue. It's not a national issue. It's definitely a global issue. It's global. And everybody has mental health. Not everybody has a mental health condition or may not be exhibiting mental health symptoms, but everybody has mental health. And so it's so important that we protect that space. And that when we feel like it's out of alignment, when something is off, that we're brave enough to be able to step forward to either confiding someone and say, hey, I think, I'm not okay. And knowing that it's okay to not be okay, or to even ask for help, which sometimes can be challenging for a lot of people, because we don't want to ever think that asking for help is a sign of weakness also.
Yes. Yeah, because there's so many stereotypes and stigmas attached with mental health that, and I think what you're doing is so important, because educating our community to say that it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
And to admit that, yes, I'm not feeling well, and go get the help. So that's definitely important.
And can I just speak a little bit about that as well? Because one of the things that I say very often is that mental health has different faces. And what I mean by that is different people may experience or manage their mental health in different ways. So I think a lot of us, especially high achievers, business owners, entrepreneurs, kind of fall into that category, is we have learned to wear this sort of rehearsed look of everything is okay, all is well, and I'm good. As a matter of fact, I bet you 95% of the time, if someone asks us how we're doing, we're going to say fine or good.
Great.
Exactly. Even great. What about the times when it's not? So being able to feel free to wear that authenticity. And so what I've learned when I say mental health or mental illness has different faces, the symptoms look different from person to person. So I know of one individual, for example, who had mental health symptoms, had anxiety and depression. So those were the two, I think it was anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Had difficulty being motivated, had difficulty getting out of bed, didn't have the desire to do the things that they had once loved, like shopping, going out, being around friends, just felt very down all the time, right? And sometimes, you can kind of notice when, we were driving, they would all of a sudden, be like, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I don't feel comfortable. So in other words, their symptoms were external. However, there are also those people who fall into the category of a different mental health phase, which means they may also be exhibiting mental health symptoms, right? They may also have depression, anxiety, PTSD, or something of that nature. We expect them to show signs of downheartedness, isolation, or nervousness externally, but they don't. They show up at work, at the cheerleading practice, at the bake sale, at the gas station, at the community fair, and they'll have their head held high. They'll have a big smile on their face, and you would be like, everything appears okay. When in reality,
It's not.
Surface, they're masking, we call it masking, they're masking emotional pain. And so we have to be careful. That's why they say check on, check on your friends, check on your strong friends and family, because the ones who appear strong or wear that strong face or mask are the ones that, you need to probably do a little bit more. Prying just to make sure that they're actually, really okay, looking for things that may be outside of the norm. And so, yeah. And
I remember the beauty queen who jumped in New York. When you talked about that, that's what came to my mind, because everyone talks about how upbeat and positive and all that energy she had.
She was beautiful. She was super talented. She had a cause, so she had something that she believed in, and she went to work every day. She was a TV person, I think on like Extra or something like that. And so all the more reason. Now, when that happened, everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, we didn't know." And that was because she wore a rehearsed look and a face. And one of the people who knew what she was going through was her mother. And her mother said that she was functionally depressed. She had functional depression. So you can still function. You can still get up and go to work every day, but you probably come home once you're not around people and you have a difference. So I just want to make sure people understand those differences, especially when we're working with other people, partnering, collaborating with other people. When we begin to grow our staff and have employees, that it's not going to always be obvious.
And bringing that awareness is key. I could see how important it is for people to know that.
Right.
So you talked about traveling overseas. So you actually travel to those locations, or how are some of the ways that you work with people internationally and nationally across the US?
Well, of course, there's platforms such as this one, which is broadcast to hundreds of other countries. So I think the best way to be able to spread your message is on a global platform. You simply touch more people. But you are right. I did physically go to other countries and discovered that a lot of some of the things that we were experiencing here in the States were also present overseas. So my first trip last year was on Women's International Day, which was in March of last year. And I spoke in Paris, France. And I spoke on women's mental health, because I think the statistics for us, at least what is reported, is a little bit higher. Women tend to be, we tend to have more women sufferers of mental health symptoms than we do men. And so I felt like that was an important topic. From there, in the fall, I went to England. I went in September to October, went back in November, and then went in December. And then I also went to Belgium. And so I spoke on mental health on each of those trips, even at, charity events and different things of that nature, because I just think it's, important around the world.
Yeah, I could see how passionate you're about it. And why do you believe you're so passionate and want to share that and help those people that you serve?
Sure, absolutely. So I think a lot of the things that we're passionate about are things that have touched us in some way. And so I talk a lot about breaking the silence, breaking the stigma, and I'm also very transparent with my journey, what I went through in the workplace, with my symptoms. So, having to step away from work, and even during the pandemic, man, being socially and physically isolated was definitely a challenge. And like I said, for some people, it brought symptoms to the surface. I know I felt anxiety thinking that I was going to get COVID, and would I be able to handle it? And, but I also felt anxiety about feeling like, am I going to lose a loved one? Is one of my loved ones going to be ill? Actually, my loved ones did get ill, and then I couldn't
Go
be
see
around
them.
them. I couldn't. Even when I, would take my family members to doctor's appointments, I had to sit outside in the car.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
to stay in the light, just different things like that that kind
Mhm.
of makes you kind of anxious. Like, oh my goodness, like, people are getting sick. People are in the hospital. Even when I'm in the hospital, I'm like, oh, germs, germs. So just the anxiety level and the sadness, a lot of times we get our joy from being around other people, from doing
Mhm.
things, from going out to eat, or just, but
Mhm.
we couldn't do any of that. Our
Mhm.
connection was either, online or on the phone. And so we had
Mhm.
to adjust to this new normal. So in addition to, experiencing these things during the pandemic, me experiencing certain, things at work. So in the workplace, knowing that, it was, the work level, the stress was outside of the norm, and
Mhm.
having to step away,
Mhm.
that sort of increased, my anxiety. And so I had to step away and get my mental health together. So I'm passionate about it because it has touched me personally.
Mhm.
Affected me personally. And so when I started going, for example, to talk therapy, which is an amazing thing, by the way, when I started going to talk therapy, I learned so much. I did so much research, and just wanted to be educated on different types of mental health symptoms, and, different ways in which people manage their mental health, or different types of mental health, or different triggers. When I started learning all these things and I started talking about them with my friends, I noticed that they would lean in and be like, really? Well, I
Mhm.
experienced that too. Or if I talked about my loved one having mental health, other people would talk about their loved one mental health. Like, well, what
Mhm.
do you do? So what I noticed that there was a connection.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
I started speaking more and more publicly about it because I realized it was helping other people. So that's where the passion came in.
Wow, wow. I'm sure you're making a difference to those people in your community, because for too long it was a subject where no one talked about it. You would know that there's that one odd person, but it was someone who would be ignored or thought to be just crazy, and no one really would broach the topic. Now it's so good to recognize and realize that we're actually talking about, having the conversations now and trying to get help for these individuals or for ourselves, if for what, so that we could function and operate in a much more optimal level.
Right. The other thing that I would love to share is that when we do have that courage to, if we think there is something that is out of alignment, something's not right. Hey, I think I need to, I think I'm not okay. If we do get to the point we feel like we need to ask for help, and it doesn't have to be anything major or serious, I mean, there's different levels. There are some people who are like, hey, I just need a few days off. Give me a mental health day. I'll be fine. And then there's other people who are like, you know what? I think I might need to see a therapist. There may be some people who may need medication, or there may even be people who need a short hospital stay, right? So there's different levels. Whatever type of help or support is needed, you want to ask for it sooner rather than later. You
Right.
don't want to wait until you sort of, hit rock bottom. You don't want to go from 100 to 0 and then say, oh, I think I need some help now. You want to get the help, beforehand. And that's been the case even for me. There are times when I feel like, well, I think I'm okay, but just in case, let me go get my battery, recharged.
Right.
So I
So
can keep.
how would you, if you're talking to someone and say someone's listening to you now, what are some of the things that you would say that were indicators that maybe they might want to talk to someone?
Yeah, so a lot of it is a change in their normal way, of functioning. So if my normal way of functioning is I get up at 6 o'clock every day, I get dressed, I'm out the door by 7, I'm, at work by 8, I do my work day. I may go out afterwards, or, come home, fix dinner, do laundry, put out the trash, cheerleading practice, things of that nature. If there is things that, if I'm, struggle to get out the bed. So a lot of times it's a lack in motivation. So if my girlfriend says, hey, let's go out to such and such, and I know that's something that I like to do, and all of a sudden I'm not interested in doing. So in addition to lack of motivation, you might have a no desire to do things that you normally loved to do. So that's usually an indication. If you just feel like your thoughts are a little bit off, there may be, a chemical imbalance going on. You might want to seek some assistance for that. If you're just feeling a lot of negativity, or feeling stuck, or hey, what's wrong with me, or something's not right. All of those are reasons to be able to, step forward and say, I don't think I'm okay, and I might need some support.
Oh, awesome. And so do you work or partner with other organizations?
Yes, absolutely. And so I've spoken at charity events, churches, corporations, schools, and I'm just also one-on-one with individuals as well. And the main theme is prioritizing mental health and wellness. The theme stays the same, whether I'm talking one-on-one with you, hey, prioritize mental health and wellness. In the schools, I think the schools are important. I think the younger we begin to teach and train our students, and I don't think it needs to wait until college. I think it needs to start in elementary school, and just be age appropriate. And the reason why is because a lot of times people struggle in silence is because they are uncertain. When I begin to put a name, when I begin to kind of have awareness about, oh, you know what, I think I might be feeling a little bit sad. And if the sadness lasts for too long, I might be feeling seasonal depression. And so let me get some support for that. Young people may not have those tools quite yet. And so teaching them what symptoms are, not only for themselves, but what to look for in their peers so that they can be able to be a support or let a, administrator or teacher know. Because one of the things that the schools sometimes don't get correct is that they may not treat mental health with compassion. Sometimes they may see a student who's crying out for help. And we've even seen this on, unfortunately, in the news and on social media, where someone may be experiencing a mental health episode and we're treating them either as a criminal, something negative. And so when you have that education sooner, you know how to, you kind of know how to approach it and deal with it.
Yeah. Very important. This type of work that you do seems pretty challenging. How do you maintain the strength and courage to keep going?
Yeah, so I will tell you, talking about mental health and mental health symptoms all day, it can be a little bit heavy, but again, this is my passion. So when you're doing your passion, it doesn't always necessarily feel like work. And the other thing is that's really comforting is that you know that you're helping people. When you're doing something and you know that it's changing other people's lives, or it's helping them to transform something that they were doing before, and now they're doing something different. You're teaching them something that they didn't know before. When there is change happening in a person, when there's change happening in an organization or corporation, when people learn how to do something differently, and you had played a part in that, that's just a good feeling. It doesn't feel like work when you're working on your passion.
I totally 100% agree with that, because you could do it for free and you're still enjoying. Yeah, so I totally understand that. So how would you, well, you kind of told us about how you started the work, but what exactly, how would you say, what's your origin story?
Sure. So there were some things regarding mental health, not only that I experienced in the workplace, but I realized mental health symptoms can come as a result of nature or nurture. So sometimes it's in the family. Some people like to say, man, I don't even understand why, I'm feeling anxious right now, or man, I'm feeling these extended bouts of sadness. For me, I realized there were several other people in my family who had mental health. So some of it might have just been in the genes, right? So for me, it was a thing of, so having self-awareness, figuring out what my triggers were, and then being able to manage it. Because in some cases, some things are going to, creep up. So sometimes you might feel like, wow, there's no cure for this, but learning how to manage it. So sometimes it's, might be something in the families, or it might be the environment. And for me, I think it was a little bit of both, because as I mentioned, the other place where I spent a lot of my time was, the workplace, my professional life. And so there were times when it was, like I said, high stress, very disorganized. It can be a bit chaotic. It could be a bit dysfunctional. You're working really long, unreasonable hours, high demand, and unreasonable deadlines, and you're feeling a bit like, man, this is overwhelming, this is stressful, and you start to feel the anxiety. Or you might have disappointment that you feel sad that you didn't complete something or do the job that you thought you could do. So all of those things play in. But I'll tell you, when you have a loved one, when it's a parent or a child or a close sibling or a close friend who also experiences mental health, we're talking a whole new talk show there. Because in order for you to be able to help or support anybody else, you have to make sure you take care of yourself first. Because if you're not okay, you're not going to be able to help them. You might actually do a disservice to them when you don't. So a lot of my origin story came from personal experience, my own personal journey. And I realized how much better I have done by releasing a lot of the things that I had experienced, that I had grown up with, and also changing my environment, whether it's, taking mental health days, taking some time off, whether it's short term or long term, to be able to make sure that I, I call it reset the brain, but take those days.
Definitely. I talk about that all the time, about, and just even with your personal life, being intentional about it.
Right.
And taking that time to refresh, as you say, and reset.
Right.
That's totally okay. So totally understand on that. So are you a part of any associations?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am actually on the board of directors for the National Alliance on Mental Illness here in my county, in Prince George's County in the state of Maryland. And so the National Alliance on Mental Illness is short for NAMI, NAMI. And NAMI is the largest grassroots organization that supports individuals and their families who may be struggling with mental health symptoms. So NAMI provides free resources for people who may need support groups, education, training, learning about symptoms, learning how to support someone with symptoms, learning about, addiction or things of that nature. And so because I have such, I had what they call lived experience. So I have lived with the experience personally for myself, and also supporting loved ones, that I just wanted to be a support, not only in my organization and helping other organizations, but in my local community as well.
Awesome. So was it hard to start your business?
The reason why it wasn't hard as I thought it would be, I think all business owners have some level of challenge. When you step away from your main job and your main source of income, when you step away from the security of direct deposit and having, those benefits, right? So those types of things are, and then then you have to start building your clientele and getting your name out there and your brand awareness and visibility. But the thing that made it easy for me is I sort of had a easy transition, because even when I took leave, because I started speaking so publicly and transparently about what I was going through in my own personal life, that made public speaking and partnering with other people. So basically, it was just an extended version of what I was already doing.
Your credibility was already built.
Right. And so it was just an extended version of that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to continue to be a speaker, author, coach, and advocate for mental health, just on a larger scale and to more people. So that made it a little bit easier.
Oh, wow. So would you say is your role therapy, or how would you explain your practice?
So, yes. So my practice is primarily speaking. So I speak to individuals, speaking, training, consulting. So a lot of it involves speaking to individuals, organizations, corporations, universities, religious organizations about the importance of mental health, advocating for those who need mental health, who have mental health symptoms, and also prioritizing mental health, making open, inclusive, and supportive environments for people so that they don't feel the stigma of having a mental health condition.
Oh, okay. So do you have like referral partners and so?
Absolutely, yes. So like I said, everybody has mental health. Not everyone may have a mental health symptom, but we also want to try and reduce that. We don't want them to get symptoms, but if they do, we want to make sure we have the resources in place. We want to make sure we have the right type of environment. We want to make sure that we have the right type of attitude to be able to support them.
Wow.
Yes.
So how important would you say it is for you to have like people who are supportive and who encourage you to, if for someone who's challenged with mental health, what are some of the things you'd recommend for them in terms of the people that they surround themselves with?
Right. So for anyone who may be, so if someone were to come to me and say that they were experiencing, a mental health symptom, there's a few things that I would recommend. There's actually about 5 things. So one of the first things, and we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, is before I can help anyone else, I need to make sure that I'm okay. And I know that sounds weird because you're like, well, it's all about the other person. Yes, but again, if we're not taking care of ourselves, then we might be doing a disservice by trying to help someone else when we aren't taking care of ourselves. So it's important to set a good example and to be a good model of the behavior that you want other people to have. So it's always important to always prioritize you. So that's number one. The other thing is if someone is exhibiting mental health symptoms and they want to talk to me about it, I have to make sure that I am an active listener. So making myself available to fully listen to what they have to say. We may not be able to always relate to something that somebody else is going through, but it's very important to make sure that if somebody's sharing something with us, that we don't, judge or anything of that nature, because they will shut down and they won't come to us again. So we have to make sure that a person who is sharing their thoughts and feelings about something that they're going through, that they feel safe, that we make sure it's confidential, that it's a non-judgment space. But the active listening is the most important part. And by that, I mean, sometimes when we hear something, the first thing we try and do is fix it or solve it, which we don't want to do. We want to make sure we can improve it or offer advice. The third thing is just to respect their feelings. If somebody says, hey, I'm experiencing something, letting them know, what, sometimes it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be angry. And there are going to be times when other people may not fully understand the hurt or the experience that they have, but always make sure that we respect and validate their feelings and what they have gone through. The fourth thing is to, appreciate them, have no conditions, not make them feel, well, yeah, but, or it's not that bad. Those are things that are really not encouraging at all. And I would say and to that point also, understanding the importance of, patience and forgiveness and things of that nature. So having no conditions on the things that they might share. And then the last and final thing, again, is creating a supportive environment for individuals and business owners, is to make sure that we're creating spaces where people, again, feel like they can come, get the support that they need without the judgment, without, feeling that it may not be confidential, without making them feel safe. So all of the things that I would encourage people to do if they have know someone, how they can support someone with a mental health condition.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Rhonda. It has been such a pleasure. Learned so much from you today. Great conversation.
Yes.
Could you just go ahead and share with us your contact information if someone would like to reach out to you? And how
Sure.
do they contact you?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Dr. Rhonda M. Wood. My website is drrhondamwood.com, and I'm also Dr. Rhonda M. Wood on all social media platforms. So I like to keep it consistent.
I know. Have a good one.
Thank
Remember, genius is common. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Toll, and we just had some amazing information from Dr. Wood. We thank you. We just want to continue to let everyone say good afternoon to all our business owners, our entrepreneurs, our thought leaders, our corporate sponsors. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Sean Toll. I am your moderator for this afternoon. We just want to thank you all for staying tuned, and we know that genius is common, and I want you to stay tuned for our next speaker.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta, and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights.
I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kinston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life, and now she is a testimony.
If I can help you elevate yourself, then I feel like I'm elevating my own self as well. What you know and I know together can change the world.
La connexion.
La collection BU.
In a world obsessed with the cult of celebrity, I challenge you not to aspire to anyone else's greatness, but instead strive to reveal and ignite the greatness within you.
Are you serious?
I totally think that that's it.
Hey. No! Hey! To me, sexy is a man that knows who he is and what he wants.
Okay.
He's comfortable. You look at him, you see him, he's just comfortable being himself. And you're like,
Baby, be you.
Be you, baby.
Just be you. I like it. Introducing the BU collection, exclusively available at K&G Fashion.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, frog, fish,
Goldie,
dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies. Bunnies everywhere. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms. The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, and with spending power built for business purchases, he used his card to furnish a new exam room. Together, Dr. Petsworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Hopton got the love and care they deserve. And everyone was happy. Get the card built for business by American Express.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Sean Toll, and I am your moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. So we are excited today. We have speakers from all across the world. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. So I want to get to our next speaker. We're going to have a great fireside chat with our next speaker, her name is Chris Wright. And let me give you some information about Chris and what she does here. And so Chris, she actually is a graduate from Howard University, and she had majored in journalism, minor in graphic design. And she started her entrepreneur journey back in 2016 with the launch of Right Now, results in a communication agency that streamlined strategies, messaging, and implementation plans to create efficiency for nonprofit organizations with limited resources. Right Now results leads with strategy planning through one-on-one services group training, and self-resources. Later in 2020, Chris launched Make It Right, a learning management system for local government, and added related social literacy training with their DIE efforts. And then in 2021, Chris and her sister, Ray Wright Burnell, officially formed the WEM Sisterhood LLC. And after 5 years of operating in the community and with their virtual platform on the side project, the WMEM Sisterhood leveraged technology to level the playing field for entrepreneurs who would work remotely, and including all kinds of virtual areas. So she's now actually considered herself I love this name, a virtual nomad. And she's committed to a life of digital nomad in 2021, determined to find joy and enjoy life after 2 decades of a workaholic. And now she spends her time in whatever city makes the most sense for her current projects and goals, enjoying the moments right before her eyes. So if you want to catch Chris, you have to catch Chris. So with that, therefore, I would love to introduce you to Chris Wright. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you today?
I am doing amazing. I'm glad that you were able to get on. So I know I kind of went over a little bit of your history of what you're doing here. I mean, it's very fascinating. Can you tell us a little bit more in your words, what, your background, how you got to this point?
Oh, that is such a layered story. So how did I get to this point? Well, I hail from Houston, Texas. I went to the same high school that George Floyd went to, Jack Yates High School. It is in the historic Black neighborhood, 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas. Anytime you go to Houston, make sure you go through 3rd Ward. It is basically our Harlem, right? So I grew up there. What I knew is that I didn't know a whole lot, and I knew the people around me didn't know a whole lot on how to be the definition that was put out in the world as successful, right? So financially successful and stable, emotionally and mentally stable. Those were just not things that were in my backyard. What was happening in my backyard was a whole heck of a lot of chaos. And I was like, that ain't me. I spent most of my childhood reading books. And so I didn't actually even know what Howard University was. Honestly, it was the only school I applied to, and I got in early admission, and I was like, bet that's where I'm going. But the way that I knew that I should pursue that opportunity was because I knew I wanted to get as far away from home as possible, put myself in a situation where I didn't know anyone, I didn't know anything, because then I can't lean on anything, right? I can only lean on new stuff. Well, I know the old stuff. I knew I wanted to get away from home. And I also knew that I wanted to be a reporter. And if I'm going to be a reporter, reporters don't make much. And I knew that back when I decided at 14 I was going to be a reporter. So my job was to be the best reporter possible in order for me to make money at this thing. That's what my parents always told me, was it didn't matter what we did. It mattered that we put the work in and we put the time in. So do something you love, put the time into it, and the money will come. Now, they hadn't figured that out for themselves. That was a hypothesis back then. It has proven to be true. And so what I did was I asked my high school journalism teacher, what college should I go to be the best reporter ever? And she said, Howard University. And I said, bet. This is why Black teachers in Black spaces are really important. Because in that time, I had on blinders. I wasn't worried about going to an HBCU. I didn't care about going to a Black school, because right now, HBCUs are all the rave, right? But back when I was a kid, anything associated with something Black, what I knew it to be was that it was going to be cheap, and it was going to be something that did not give me all of the pieces, right? Because it was going to be underfunded. Most things that and this was my experience, right? Most things that were put out for Black people that was always something that was going to be under budget and underperforming. And so if somebody had told me, well, go to Howard University because it is the premier Black school, I wouldn't have heard that. And I'm sure that my high school teacher said to me that it was an HBCU. I didn't know what an HBCU was till I got to Howard. She told me it was I know she did. I know, because Jack Yates High School is across the street from Texas Southern University. You know what Texas Southern University is?
HBCU.
HBCU.
Yeah.
I'm right across the street. I did a summer program where I had to spend the whole summer at TSU. I know they told me what an HBCU was, but when we're chasing financial capital, that's what happens. There's so much information that happens around us and we miss it. And it could be information that's hugely important. Now, thank God for Jesus, because he made sure that no matter what, even though I had on blinders, I had that one teacher in my school that could tell me, in order to reach the outcome that I pursued, that I wanted, that Howard University was an answer for that. And I was able to hear it and receive it, right? Again, thank God for Jesus, because I couldn't imagine myself not being a bison. I'm so proud to be a bison.
So having that experience, how do you feel that shaped your trajectory and your because I know so many people are, when they thinking with their children, where did they go? And being a HBCU grad myself, Norfolk State University, I know that helped me project my life and differently than maybe if I went to a predominantly white university. How did that help you with your goals and just made you a little bit of who you are?
Sean, I went to the Mecca. Like, it is above, though. It shaped me in making me aware that I was special. Up until that point, I had been told that I was smart, but special and important to this world, that wasn't necessarily the overarching. But when you go to an HBCU, there's so much love. There's so much love and so much community. And yeah, you got all of the stomping on the yard and, homecoming and all of that. But even then, I don't think I realized that homecoming it truly is a family reunion. Right? I didn't go to homecoming when I was at Howard. Not a lot. I covered the stories for the newspapers and then I went on about my business because it was a lot of people and I don't like crowds. But, it's a homecoming. It is a family reunion. I went a few years ago and I said, there's no way I couldn't ever go back, because when you step onto the yard of an HBCU, it is our ancestors are coming out of that soil. Like, it's so strong just walking onto that campus and knowing that you're part of something, right? Something much, much bigger. Howard trains global leaders. I hadn't seen myself globally. I had only up until that point seen me somewhere outside of daggone Houston. That's all I saw. Right. Howard gave me a much bigger vision of what I had to offer to this world, and I'm forever grateful for that. So that definitely set that trajectory. It also, of course, gave me the opportunities. When we're looking at colleges, I think parents have to think about what city they're in. Because when that high school teacher told me to go to Howard University, what she said to me, what I recall, is the part where she told me that not only was it outside of Houston, but that it was in DC. And so if I wanted to be a reporter, to be housed in DC would absolutely increase my ability to report on politics, which is what I wanted to report on. I ended up being a White House Correspondent Association dinner. I was a scholarship winner, so I got to go to the dinner. I got to go to the VIP reception. I'm talking about I was shaking hands with Condoleezza Rice and waving to George Bush. Don't give me an opportunity, because I got audacity. I walked in that room and I was like, what they can't do is deny me. I am a student. I am young. I have won a scholarship. They sent me this invitation. So I went in there and I met everybody. I got pictures. But I had that opportunity. I had the opportunity to study at the Library of Congress. Every Saturday I would go up, and mostly because I just thought it was so cool. You look up and it's like 20 feet up to the ceiling. And, so I had that experience. What I had in the environment around me was additional intellectual capital, not just at the university. So when parents are thinking about where to send their kids, You need to think about what are they wanting to do and what is the environment that surrounds the campus? What does that offer?
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you. That was for free, guys. I don't think that was meant to be in your
I
talk
drop them,
today,
Sean.
right?
I just drop them. I just walk, just dropping gems. Just like, here you go, Jim.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now, and because obviously you've been an entrepreneur for a little while. Seems that you have done different projects. Tell us about what you're doing now, and maybe how you feel that's impacting people right now.
So I have the communications agency. She's up and running and moving. We are raising capital for the Virtual Entrepreneurship Center. And then where my main focus is right now is my thought leadership brand. It's called Catch Chris. And even though that is catchy and it's cute, it comes from truly who I am. I like to live in the moment. I always have. And a few years ago, I did away with time as a construct. And so I am truly always living in the moment. I do business advising under that realm. I'll give you the lines. I've got the cute little elevator pitch. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. So I am on a mission to spread intellectual capital to those who weren't meant to have it. And I give myself bonus points when I get institutions to participate in the process. Okay. So by that, what I mean is the people who truly need intellectual capital, the folks who come from the community that I come from and similar communities, we are the ones who need that intellectual capital the most. And where it resides is behind a whole lot of paywalls, behind a whole lot of people puffing out their chest and making it seem like they're bigger because they want to put on big events. I don't believe in all of that. I'm a cut to the chase type person. And so all of this intellectual capital that I've gathered, it should not be paid by the people. It shouldn't be paid for by the people who it was created. There were these gaps that were systemically damn created. Excuse my language. No one who is a victim of that situation should not have to pay for that. It should be the damn institutions who created the problems. And so I've worked out a contract with Texas Women's University where I can do business advising with any businesswoman in the entire state. I've worked something out with a chamber out in Georgia. I am working on all 50 states, and then we're going global with this situation. This week we have launched my membership site. It is low cost, $9 a month, and a bunch of clips that I've recorded over the last 5 years with intellectual capital in business development, team management, and civic engagement. That last one, Sean, that's the one that matters the most.
Okay.
The others, yes, they matter, but we got to get civically engaged.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it out. I want to talk about that because you feel that's very, very important. Civic engagement. But if you don't mind, explain intellectual. If I could be intellectual real quickly, intellectual capital, and what exactly does that mean? And then we're gonna get to the civil engagement. So if explain intellectual capital for us.
Sure. So intellectual capital is, yes, partly it is intellect. It is part of your knowledge, your expertise, but that's only one of 3 components under intellectual capital. The other 2 are your systems. Your structural capital falls under intellectual capital. So as a business and as an individual, you ought to have processes and procedures. You ought to have strategies that support the expertise that you have either in your business or as an individual. As an individual, that structural capital looks like what I said earlier. I am not an on-time girl. I don't do that. That's not me. I don't care about an old clock. I don't care about a 30. That is not your girl. If you book a meeting with me, you will kindly get, though, some processes and procedures that support the human that I am. So you get some nice messaging that lets you know, go take a break, go take a breath, go take a restroom break. I'll be with you within 10 minutes because I know me, I'm going to be late. That's what structural capital looks like for an individual, is those systems that support who you are. You can't really change who you are, but you most certainly can create systems around you that allow you to function at your highest. And then the third component is your human capital. We know it as our networks. I want folks to understand that it is not your network, it is your community. In networks, there's a lot of handshaking and very serious, right? But when we're talking about community, we're talking about goodwill. So the relationships that you're building with your clients, with your network, with people that you meet in your ecosystem. If you don't know the word ecosystem, it essentially means your community, your business community. So all of those relationships only matter but so much if you have not put the goodwill in. You have to earn goodwill from people. So it is about being in the rooms and what, not just who you know, what they know and what they're willing to share with you. If you haven't done volunteer work with them, if you haven't answered a call from some guy calling up and saying, hey, do you mind coming through and doing an interview for the Black Business Network? If you have not done that, naturally human, people are not going to want to give to you. If you want to get, then you got to give, right? So your intellectual capital that is what it is. It's your expertise, your systems, and your community. Right now, there is a lot of news about all the money that's out there. There's grant money out there. There is pitch competition money. There's money, financial capital. Now, as Black people, if you tell us that there's money on the table, we're going to do the things that it has to do, because if we know nothing else, we know how to work our butts off at what it is that we want, right? And so if you tell somebody in my community that there is free money out there somewhere, that's where our blinders go on, and that is all we're going after. Meanwhile, what will actually pay for your business is those systems, the expertise, and the community that you built around that system, around that business. Then your financial capital comes from your own daggone business. Ain't that crazy? You didn't have to go chasing after nobody for the Liberty $10,000 check. And by the way, a $10,000 check, I spent that in 24 hours. We got that daggone check, gone.
Yes. So how do you bring that to what you were saying, where you want to get people to be to the civic area, right? To get into that. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So what I found, I was a local government reporter. When I reported, I covered 12 different local governments and the entities within. Just so y'all know, the government is like, even your local government is like an ant colony. They got so many different little departments and compartments. And so I covered all of those. At one point, I covered 9 at one time. Love that. That was crazy. But what I noticed was that when I was in those government meetings, there were 2 or 3 main people that showed up, and they were not the people who were being the most affected by what was discussed in that room. We got the 2024 election coming up next year. Is it important? Sure, it's important. But what's important today, what's important tomorrow, and what's important every single day of any resident of these United States of America is your local government. That's what affects you more than the federal government. The federal government, yeah, they're going to do stuff, and some of that stuff matters. But what parks your kids can go to, that's at City Hall. What your roads look like, again, City Hall. What your sewage looks like, County Commission. So as I have gotten out of journalism and I've just been kind of moving around, what I've noticed is that what is keeping people from being involved in city government is that they're intimidated by it. They don't have enough information. They don't know what I know. They don't know that, listen, these people just human. You go up to the city... Y'all, they argue and it's like reality TV. In fact, right now you can actually watch it online, but it's like reality TV. They are strangers, a lot of them, from different communities spread out across whatever city, trying to come together and make a decision. That's a recipe for a good show. And I promise you, sometimes they give you a good show. In the middle of that show is a lot of really, really big decisions that are being broken down. If we, as we are upset about my mighty lion, George Floyd, being murdered in 2020, we may be upset about that. And we may be upset that the police did this and that it wasn't okay. But we can't be that daggone upset because we're not up at City Hall changing the laws, changing the rule books that actually control that. That's not happening on the federal level. It's happening on the local. So my intent is to make sure that all of the information on how city government functions is available and readily available. So I made sure there's a bucket of it in the membership site.
That's awesome. That's awesome, because I know so many times in local government, it really, that's what impacts you day to day. Sometimes people win by, like, actually we had one in Virginia. I'm in Virginia. Someone won literally by like 5 votes. I mean, this is something that if someone knew, and that could change your whole system, right? That could change what they're going to educate your children. Now, that's what took out Black History out. Yeah, exactly. So if you was to say that, what is the biggest thing that motivates you with that, or things that you feel someone could move quickly or help into that area of that city?
So to enter that realm, just incorporate it into your life. If you are someone who spends a lot of time on social media, then go and find your local governments, all of them. You want to do your county commission, you want to do your city council, you want to do your school board. Go and find all of them on the social media platforms that you frequent, and let them tell you what news they have going on. At this point, most governments have figured out that social media is is an entire industry, and they've hired someone to put stuff over there. So even in the smallest cities that I've stayed in, I've lived in over a dozen cities in the US, some of them small. In those small cities, the social media isn't great, but they put out the main announcements, right? Make sure that you attend those city council meetings. The thing about intellectual capital, here goes the stat. It takes an adult learner 12 times to hear something before they digest and remember it. And so you need to hear that language. Just turn on city council on Zoom and turn it onto your computer and listen to those words that are coming across. Eventually, some of them are going to repeat and they'll start making sense. The other thing that you can do is actually go up to City Hall, because these are public servants. They serve you. We pay them. They only have that position because of us. Therefore, they have to make time for you. Yeah. Anyone that you want to meet in your city and county governments will make time for you. What they don't want is for you to make a big old fuss, call up local newspapers and go down there. That's always a big issue for them. They're concerned that they will not get your support in the next election. Let them be concerned and use that against them. Go book a daggone meeting, sit down with them. My first assignments for every newspaper I ever worked for, I went down to City Hall and I sat down with each one of them and I told them, tell me about your job. Tell me what you do. And they were welcoming, not because I was a reporter, but because I was asking. No one ever asked them what they do. Now, everybody got judgments when stuff don't go right. They get those phone calls, right? Mm-hmm. But hardly anyone just asked them, what do you do? I really care about that. And then the final thing I'll tell you is that a lot of cities have come up with leadership programs. At Call Up City Hall, ask them, do they have a leadership program, or do they have a program that teaches city government? The leadership program will introduce you to all of the different departments in your local government. They'll also introduce you to all of the major players. Now, caveat, it has come to my attention that some cities do this through their chamber, and the chamber charges money. And they charge like $1,500, $2,000 to teach you about your city that you pay for. I feel some kind of way. So if you live in one of those cities, make your own decisions, but you can learn the same shit by just going and signing up for my membership site. So.
That's beautiful. So what made you move on this way, take on this mission? What led you to that part? Because obviously, you was in there, you was in the trenches, you saw a lot of things. What made you move in this direction?
Part of it was me being irritated. When we moved into the virtual country club for entrepreneurs, trying to get answers was like pulling teeth. I would go and I would ask people to tell me, okay, before I knew how to raise financial capital and what those pieces were, I would ask them, hey, so who gives money? How do you get money for your business, right? And what I would get is a whole lot of just above the, bird's eye view type webinars for free. Then you go down to SBDC, you go down to SBA. They kind of got people to help you out, but the information is so bland and convoluted. Now I'm back at Howard, and we didn't have professors like that. They broke stuff down to us. So tell me what you're saying, because you telling me about a daggone UVP, but not telling me what's important about a UVP is not freaking helpful. You assigning me as part of an accelerator, hey, go do this business canvas, but then not following up with me and spending the time with me to talk to me about the different types of strategies there are. That's not freaking helpful. You sending me to yet another daggone person that's going to tell me like legal was the hardest in business, because we couldn't find direct answers. And we also didn't have $2,000, $5,000 to spend on legal. But there were all of these places that had, oh, we have free legal services. Oh yeah, go contact our partner. They'll give you you get consulting for free. 15 minutes of legal consulting where they essentially tell you, this is what our rate is. You want to pay it? So at a certain point, I just got really irritated about it. Now, the other part of it is God. He does a whole thing. And I think he was always leading me down the path to do this. And I think one of his messengers was my dear grandpa, who told me my entire life to be a teacher. Every time that I would get confused about my career, what I was doing and how it was going, because leaving journalism and going into work for the county and then going from the county to work in business, he could just see I was frustrated. And so his thing was, go be a teacher. You're a teacher. I keep telling you, you're a teacher. And I'm like, nah, Grandpa, I don't want to go teach them kids. That just wasn't what I wanted to do, right? It didn't sound fun. It didn't sound financially stable. I just wasn't with it. Then I looked up after he passed and I realized I'm already a teacher. That man already knew what he was talking about. So I'm just doing what I'm doing. I think what I was destined to do, and the journey up until this point has been my testimony and my journey, so that I know what it is that people really need to learn and how they need to learn it. Because that's the other thing. There's access and then there's context. If you don't give me context behind things, then I'm not going to daggone understand it. So remember, I didn't know what Howard University was, right? I didn't necessarily get that context. Nobody broke it down and said, yeah, it's also in DC, but also it's important for you to know HBCU, right? They weren't able to pair around to pull back those blinders. One of my special treats is that I can pull back blinders.
Awesome. Now, I know we're going to do this again to end, but tell people how they could get in contact with you real quickly. What's the best way to reach you real quick?
CatchChris.com. So CATCH, Chris without an H. There's no H in Chris. It's CRIS. But go to CatchChris.com. Definitely check out the membership page. You have the option to buy me a taco. I use the Buy Me a Coffee platform, and you can decide on what you want people to buy you just to support and say thank you for showing up and giving me some of these gems, whatever. And I picked a taco because I love tacos. I am part Hispanic. My grandfather is Mexican American, so it felt perfect. So if you would like, you can go and buy me a taco.
That's sweet. I like that. And so you say you're a digital nomad. What does that mean?
It means I just fly by the seat of my pants. I actually started this journey after leaving a not great living situation. And I kind of ran away from home and hit the road. And I was living on the road. I was semi-homeless, barely able to pay my bills a few years ago. And what I discovered is that it was helping me as a business owner and as a human being. As a human being, I get to drop into new environments, and that fights my depression and anxiety because I can't get too much into a rut because I got to go to the next city, right? But the other thing was it helped with my ecosystems. I can drop into multiple U.S. ecosystems, all of them. They know me. I can say what up. And so what I started to see as the Catch Chris brand came together, I've been working on it for 2.5 years. I've got 2 more to go. But what I started to see was that with that brand, it was hugely important that I did have very strong networks in all of the different states. So I go wherever the project takes me.
All right.
So,
That's good.
yep.
So now your Catch Chris, you're building that up. You say you're 2 years in. What's the vision of Catch Chris? You kind of been saying that, and what do you hope people could come in and what their takeaways are?
So the takeaway that you can do anything. You can do absolutely anything, regardless of where it is that you come from. All you need is the right information and the right people to talk to you about those things, right? To help you understand it. You can learn how to be anything you want to be. Ultimately, I am going toward changing the government funded programming for business development and getting them to focus more on technical assistance, because the MBDA just put out a grant for technical assistance programs. They're pretty much the only one. The other technical assistance programs end up getting wrapped. All of them are wrapped into these graduations, which is why we have pitch competitions and why those become the focus. But I need for our leaders, our government leaders at the federal level is where I'm headed, to understand that when they're giving out that money, and when they are saying that it is for access, they need to provide actual access, and they need to be working with the organizations who are providing it in a way where it can be received, right? Yeah. So working on some legislative stuff, exactly how that's happening, I don't know. I'm also working on a syndicated show. Okay. So that's part of where the funds go when people buy me a taco or they join the membership. It is going toward to pay for the pilot season of the Catch Chris show, where I'll be showcasing the importance of intellectual capital along with community learning. Because while there may have been systemic barriers set up, Rosa still did a thing, so did Martin, so did Maya Angelou, so did Barack, right? And so what we have always had as a community on both sides of my family, both the Mexican side and the Black side, what we have is we have word of mouth. We know how to talk. We know how to talk to each other. And at some point, we stop teaching each other. And so I want to showcase the power of learning from the people in your community and respecting that every single one of them, even the guy that is on drugs on the corner, every single member of our community can teach us something. One of those people that was out on the corner was one of my uncles. And one of the best things that he ever told me was to keep waking up tomorrow. And I thought he was being a little bit of a butthole when he told me as a kid. But as an adult, it's one of the things that keeps me moving every day, is that when I run into some kind of a roadblock, or I feel like this day ain't great, I told you I had depression, I just tell myself, just keep waking up tomorrow. Because tomorrow will be better than today, no matter what, because you woke up.
That's right. So, amen. That's right. Now, so someone watching this right now want to get in contact with you. Can you give that information again? How do you want to get in contact with you?
CatchChris.com.
I like that. All right, CatchChris.com. Now you're doing so much. I'm so proud of hearing all the things that you're doing. And what do you see in your near future? What's the vision like? What's you coming up?
What's coming up? Pushing out Catch Chris and finding the funding for the virtual country club. That's the other side of my mission.
So tell us a little bit more about the virtual country club.
So it's a 24/7 space. Where any entrepreneur can join in. We are making it an entrepreneurship center and working on partnerships with existing SBDCs, accelerators, established programs, because 50% of entrepreneurs worked remotely prior to the pandemic. Now, I haven't seen the new numbers, but I am venturing a guess that we are closer to like 75% at this point, right?
Yes.
However, all of your business programming is in person. All of your events are in person, and the virtuals ain't nothing but one-way Zooms. That's not how people gain information. And so through our virtual platform, we have office hours, we have speed networking, work days, and we are bringing online learning moments sponsored by, hopefully, I'm working out the rest of the deal, but hopefully the learning moments will be put on by a national entrepreneurship center.
Okay. All right. What now is this so this is, of course, anywhere in the country anyone could tap into and
Yep.
work with you on that, right?
Yep.
And build that up. Awesome. Look forward to that. That's awesome. You could get that on
catchchris.com. Just shoot me an email and I'll send you over to the right to the right links.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we got just before we wrap up, we are coming close to that time. But I mean, I'm so inspired of that, and I love the fact that you're telling people intellectual capital, they're building that up so they go out and also deal with their civic.
He's trying to fight you, Sean. I've seen him. He's trying to fight
right?
you.
I was trying to our civic responsibilities and to move that. So I want to be just want to say I just want to thank you for coming on, for doing all the things that you are doing, that how you're being an inspiration to our people and everything in that area. So just in wrapping up, all right, just give us, you got about give us your final thoughts and before we get going and wrap up for you.
Final thoughts and talks. I'll give this spiel. I talked about where I come from and what lacked in that community, right? But we also have to remember what's in that community. I think a lot of us will, especially when we're aiming to do a little bit better than the generations before us, we look at those communities and we think, man, there's not a whole lot there, but there's so much meat, right? And what you learned, if you come from a background like mine, what resides in you, you may not know what an MVP is outside of most valuable player. You may not know what a family office is outside of that room inside of somebody's house. Mm-hmm. But what you do know and what you have that I'm telling you, the people with the silver spoons do not have, they don't have good instincts. Everything that you've gone through, everything that you have done, every time that you cried in your Cheerios and tried to figure out how you gonna rob Peter to pay Paul, how you were gonna help your mama balance a budget, how you were gonna pay for your school activities, all of those things built a lot of really good instincts in you. And so as long as you trust your instincts in business, you are going to be just fine. And I give that speech a lot to my advising clients because they come in and they're demoralized. These programs demoralize us. They make us feel like, my goodness, I got a whole mountain to climb. The amount of stuff that they're telling me that I have to do and that I have to know. You are so demoralized when you come through that process. So when you show up to me, I remind you that wasn't the gifts that were given to you. It wasn't for you. But what was given to you is instincts. And so if there's ever a moment where your instincts tell you I am headed in all the wrong direction, you're right. And it's not because of what you do and don't know. If it's telling you that you are headed in the right direction and all the big people are telling you that you don't know what you're doing, that you're missing this, and that there's a hole in your business. First of all, Coca-Cola running around with holes in their business right now. Walmart running around with holes in their business right now, but they are making money. So that is not your problem. And so if your instinct is saying to you that you're headed in the right direction, but there are other people telling you that you're not, trust your instinct, not theirs. They do not know everything. No one has the answers. None of us know what in the Sam Hill biscuit we're doing. So they can't tell you that you're going in the wrong direction anyway.
That's beautiful. And I have to ask this too. Today's culture is so much about the hustle, right? So much about the grind. I have to get in the grind. I have to work harder. I'm gonna get up earlier. I'm gonna stay up later. I'm gonna burn the candle on both ends. And there's a part of that, but there's also the part that I've been saying this to a lot of people too. It's okay to take naps. I love my naps. It's a thing that things that you need to do that you don't have to hustle. And I'm hearing that with you in your messaging. Can you say that to why and how you came about to that part? Because that's so many entrepreneurs need to hear that, because they think the only way they will get for winning is through just the hustle. But I know I I had to get that in. So go ahead.
Nah, you right. You so right. So there is a woman, Kalia O'Guillory. She is awesome, out of Houston, Texas. She runs a business called the Nap Bar. Okay, this woman is out here selling naps. She loved naps so much. She said when she was in kindergarten, she was all about her naps. And so when she grew up, she started a business to help people take naps. Okay, and the woman is making money. She's about to be in airports around these United States of America on a business based off of naps. That's why we trust our instincts, right? But what she talks about and what she encourages us to do is to value rest over hustling. We do not know. I had to have this conversation with myself, and this is about 3 or 4 years ago. I was working so hard and I was getting nowhere. And then I had a conversation with myself. I don't know how to not work hard. That's not in my blood. Everybody who raised me works their butts off. My grandpa worked until he was 80 years old. He had worked since he was 10. My daddy works from sun up in the sun, all the way down until the end of the night, right? That's the blood that's running through my veins. So I don't know how to not work hard. So as long as I work, I'm going to work hard. So why do I have to put more pressure on it? Because my C is somebody else's A, right? The other thing that I like to remind people, and this is in my main presentation, if anybody's looking for a speaker, I do a session called Chasing Intellectual Capital to Pay for Your Business. And in that, there is one that I tell folks, when you're chasing intellectual capital, you got to slow down. NDI said, what she say? Slow down, baby. You're going too fast. You don't know the song, look it up, right? But you can't speed up getting intellectual capital. There's no way. What did I say? It takes 12 times for you to hear something before you digest and remember it. And then for you to put it into play, right? It's going to take a minute for you to hear something 12 times that you don't even know to go look for. The other thing is that it takes any employee 2 full years to be self-sufficient. In our businesses, we're taking on the role of CEO, operations manager, finance director, some people out here being social media managers. We're taking on all of those roles, right?
And Chris, I'm sorry. Look, you know what? I'm going to stop you because we're running out of time. Unfortunately, I know you don't, but we're running out of time. And it's my fault because I want you to jump into that. But I want you to say real quickly again, how can they get to you? Again, how can they reach you?
CatchChris.com. No H in Chris.
Chris, I would enjoy talking to you. I look forward to talking to you again. And I hope that we could catch together again. But I really loved your message today. And I appreciate you coming on our Black Business Olympics. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I look forward to watching the rest of it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. And I want to say the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high schoolers, for high school seniors going to college or kindergarten through K through 12 and entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students who may go to, if you're a student, by the way, you could go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or you can cash it to us at $BBXUSA. Okay, BBXUSA. Our goal is to.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle, with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being, with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.